Yes, it does. So hopefully an inclusion of watching the last video about how to use the Blockit planner, the pages from the daily do's, the projects, and how to actually block the time in the planner. I hope that you had the time or took the time to read through what is written in the planner. I don't know about you. Everybody has their thing with instructions. I don't know anybody that likes instructions. I really don't. I don't like them. I don't know anybody that does like them. I know a lot of people who avoid them, especially when putting something together and then they have to go back and look at them later because they messed up. But who likes instructions? It just seems like a waste of time. You want to jump in and you want to get it done. You don't want to have to waste time reading instructions, or at least that's how we perceive instructions. But the reason I want to mention that to you right now is because instructions are really sometimes the most valuable part of what you've purchased. Because if you know how to use something, you're going to use it in its capacity. And if you don't, you're going to really use it according to your skill set or capacity. For example, I have a Ninja air fryer. I love my air fryer. And the instructions come with learning how to roast, learning how to air fry, learning how to dehydrate, and learning how to warm things up, the temperatures you should use, etc. But I'm so excited about the air fryer when I get it. The only thing I want to do is push air fry. So I get the air fryer. I put my stuff in it. I push air fry and start. And when I took my food out, I was like, no, this isn't very good. I didn't even like it. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to want to use this air fryer. Then I pulled out the instructions. And then I followed them. And I created my certain foods. I asked some friends, hey, air fryers for a couple recipes. And the food was amazing. It came out amazing. I've roasted chickens in them. Even though I'm pretty much plant-based, I have served chicken for dinner because I have friends that are real meat eaters, so I'll have chickens. I've roasted different types of vegetables in there, but for the most part, I've air fried fries, all right, especially homemade. You make your homemade breads and you air fry them and they're better than in the toaster. It's like amazing, right? I use my air fryer for everything. And if I would have just tried it that one time without instruction, I would have put it away and said, I don't know what everybody says about this. So instructions are super important. So make sure you take time to read them because you're developing a skill set here. And we're giving you the clues, the tips, the tricks to develop those skill sets. You don't want to miss that. And we want you to use this planner in capacity. So now let's turn to the page that's called Weekly Brain Dump. Now, I already kind of talked to you a little bit about brain dumping, especially when you're right in the middle of a project and you get a flood of all these ideas to distract you. But now what I want to talk about is the weekly brain dump. I do this. I do it every week, randomly every week. In other words, I don't have a set time, set day. I usually do it on a Sunday, right? Because I actually live in Israel. And so, well, the US is Monday through Friday. Israel is Sunday really through Thursday. So Sunday gives me the time to step back and plan my Monday through Thursday activities, or even my Sunday through Thursday, depending on what I want to get done. So brain dumping is literally taking everything that's rolling around, okay? You're kind of like one of those marble games just rolling around in your brain, and you're going to put on paper. And that is the things you want to buy. That could be a category. the things that you want to accomplish that week, that can be a category. If you have children, exactly what you want to feed your kids that week, kind of time schedules, how you're going to juggle your life, their lives, your husband's life, all right? How you're going to juggle everybody's life. Get it on paper. So we give you some ideas of what these different categories can be. What you want to start off by thinking, okay, what are the things that are just like going on in my brain? And just write them down. And if you don't even know your category yet, just write down these thoughts. Put them in one of the boxes and then move the boxes around. Put different categories on the boxes. But dump everything out and then take a look and put it in your block time planner where it belongs. Now you can create days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Or you can actually put next to your brain dump, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, but an M, T, W, all right, TH, right? Put it next to the items. And then every day when you sit down with your planner, plug them in. Some will get plugged into the back because they're not that important. Some will get plugged into projects, things you really want to get done this week. Some will get plugged into things like menu planning, okay? So you can put that. Grocery shopping. Shopping in general can be a category, all right? You've got a lot on your mind for what you need to buy that week, okay? Put it down, get it out of your head. You know, some people that you might want to contact, and you're like, oh God, I forgot to reach out to so-and-so on social media. They sent me a note and I forgot. All right, write it down. Just get everything down. And then once it's all down, you actually have it's like you've removed all the clutter from the brain. So now you can take it and reorganize it. And it will help you immensely to move your life forward with clarity. I do a lot of brain dumping, and especially when I have so much on my plate, and I'm writing a PhD. I sit on 2 boards of companies. In addition to that, I have taken and accepted a new position in a pretty high profile organization that is just a couple hours a day. It's not a big deal, but it's still a lot of responsibility, okay? And to drive somebody's vision forward is a big job. Then we have our own company and we have products that we're putting out, okay? And then I have my own community, friends, family that I have to see and talk to as often as I can. So we have a lot going on. And so with that, I need to do a lot of brain dumping sometimes. It just gets overwhelming. And when you're overwhelmed, you really want to brain dump. Now, I want to share one last thing, and then we will move to the next video. But I want to share a problem that does manifest itself when you have a vision and you want to move forward and you have a family. Because they're not always on like in the same program as you, or vice versa. And here's what I recommend. When you're brain dumping, you can always brain dump with other family members. That's not a bad idea either, but when you're brain dumping and you're ready to set your schedule, you're ready to really create the time that you're going to need to move these projects forward, right? Or a project even. What you want to do is you want to go to your spouse, you want to go to your kids if they're at home, and you want to say, hey, this is the time that I want to set to work on this. Is this going to work for you? You want to, if possible, start to develop a morning routine where you and your spouse actually go through what you want to accomplish that day. You say, hey, you got a couple seconds while you're having your coffee. Hey, these are the things I'd really like to push out today. And here's kind of the schedule I'm thinking about. And I know that you have this going on, and I know that we're going to have to do this. So I plugged them in these couple of places. Is that going to work for you? This kind of communication with your spouse will change your relationship dynamically, because you're letting them into your space and you're creating time with them. And you're asking for their advice. And especially wife to husband, let me just tell you something. There is nothing that makes a husband feel more fulfilled than when his wife leans on him for advice or just confirmation and affirmation of what she wants to do. He may actually say to you, oh, I don't care, it sounds good to me. But the thing is, the fact that you asked him, and that thing will sit with him, and then he may call you like, an hour later and say, hey, I was thinking about that. Is it possible for you to move that to 2 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock? Because at 1 o'clock, I talked to so-and-so and I want him to meet you. You're like, cool. We're actually creating time together. So I want to leave that with you, because when we're talking about brain dumping, we're talking about a critical part of actually clearing your brain to be able to organize your time and to organize your whole life, not just your projects, but we're talking self-care. We're talking learning. We're talking daily do's. We're talking family and friends. So it's your whole life. And with that said, this is Adaz signing out. Let me know what you think below. Let me know what your struggles are. And hopefully we can come up with solutions together. All right, I'll see you in the next video.